Today's analysis is about what I consider to be one of the most promising projects in 2022. They have a great product, a hard-working team, and a lot of upcoming developments. Now, from a technical perspective, the price have been rejected multiple times from a strong resistance line. So I'll be taking a look at the chart today to assess the different aspects of it and see how soon this breakout is going to happen. So stay tuned. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is King, your host, and today's video is for pure educational purposes. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back, and if it's your first time in the channel and you happen to enjoy my content, then please consider subscribing and smashing the like button because it really helps. Also, let me know in the comments below your feedback and your thoughts about the different aspects of the analysis. I'm always happy to discuss with you guys and share different opinions. Now let's go and look at the chart. First of all, let me start by saying that there are massive amount of uneducated voices in the market that can often lead people without knowledge to believe that something is crashing, while in reality it's just correcting itself in preparation for a new wave. This chart over here is one example about that. The first thing I would like to clarify is that Lossless is still in an uptrend. Despite this deep correction over here, we can clearly see that Lossless is still forming higher highs and higher lows. So when the structure started here at this point, this was the first low, and this was a high, and this was a higher low, higher than the previous one. This was a higher high, and despite this deep pullback, we still have a higher low, higher than the previous low that we had at this point. And this means that this is still considered an uptrend. Even if we pull at some point and we go deeper here, that's still an uptrend because we haven't broken the last low that was formed at this point. So let's go now and take a look at the structure that Lossless is forming. The first important fact about this structure is that it's a 5-wave structure that is still incomplete. So 5-wave structures usually include 3 impulses and 2 corrections. What differentiates the 5 and the 3-wave structures is that usually with the 5-wave structures we don't have divergence between the first and the second impulse of the structure, and that's the exact case that we have here in Lossless. So this was the first impulse and this is the second impulse of the structure, and we don't have a MACD divergence between the first and the second one. Now this means that as soon as this correction or this 4th wave of the structure is finished, we should get a 5th and the last impulse in order to complete the overall structure. Now the important question here is, when is this 5th wave of the structure is going to start? The simple answer to this question is going to be the 5th wave is going to start as soon as the 4th wave of the structure that's being formed right now is complete. So as soon as this one's complete, we're going to see the 5th and the last wave of this structure. And this leads us to the next important question. There is when the 4th wave or the second correction or wave X is going to be complete. Now we have 2 conditions here in order for us to be able to say that this 4th wave is complete. The first condition is that the price needs to be breaking the downtrend line of the 4th wave. So this is the resistance that I spoke about at the beginning of this video. And as you can see, this one was retested and rejected multiple times around different points here and here and here. So this is a strong resistance and the price is struggling to break it at this point. So condition number 1, we need to see the price coming and breaking outside this trend line. But that alone is not enough. So the second condition, we need to see the price starts forming highs and lows in the opposite direction of the last wave. So because this 4th wave of the structure was heading down and we had lower highs and lower lows, we need to start seeing highs and lows in the opposite direction. So the last high that we have formed is this one here. So ideally we need to see the price coming and breaking outside the trend line and then breaking above the last high which we have here at this point. So only then we can say that this fourth piece of the structure have been complete and we are already at the start of the fifth wave. So if you're looking to buy lossless, ideally you will need to have for these two conditions to be fulfilled, and a buy order above this level over here is an ideal one. Of course, this is not a financial advice, but this is the best scenario that you can consider for buying this coin. Now, it's very important, of course, to not have bias in the market. So let's not ignore the fact that this may not happen and that we may see the price failing to break these levels and maybe break below the last support which we have, which is this one. But I will leave this discussion for another time, only if this scenario happens. What matters now is the breakout. Now luckily, while I'm making this video right now, we're starting to see some good price action movement at this point. So this is the daily chart. If we go to the 4 hours chart, we can clearly see now that the price is moving impulsively to the upside, and it's nearing its new attempt to break the downtrend line which we have here. So if this breaks above the trend line, the first condition will be fulfilled, and then we'll be waiting for the second condition, which is forming a high higher than the previous one. Now I do have my own theory that's telling me that this correction have likely ended, and this theory of mine is not based on any Fibonacci levels or any moving averages or any other fact, except for the single fact that history is tending to repeat itself. So what I try to do here is that I try to compare the first correction of the structure to the second correction over here. And I can tell you that I can see a lot of similarities between both of them, with a minor difference that the first correction was in a small scale and the second correction is on a bigger scale. So the first correction started with an initial impulse down, and then it has formed some consolidation around this area, and then it formed what I consider a corrective flat that included 1, 2, and 3, and then it went to form the last wave of the structure that broke the last low. Now if we look at the second correction, we can see something similar here. So we had an initial impulse down, and then we had some kind of consolidation in this area, and then we had what looked like to be a corrective flat that included 1, 2, 3, and then the last impulse down that broke the last low. Now if you take a look at this pattern here and at this pattern over here, you can see that we have a lot of similarity between both of them. So in short, if history tends to repeat itself, we're likely going to see the price breaking above this corrective pattern and start a new impulse that's similar to the one we had here at this point. And with this, I will end today's analysis. Thank you guys for sticking till the end. If you enjoyed today's video, please make sure to leave a like and share the video as well. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. This was King with you guys, and until next time, stay safe and see you later.